For over 30 years, I've been training my body like a bodybuilder.
This was all to make my muscles look bigger, following the typical gym bro routine of chest, back, shoulders and legs. And whilst my body was getting stronger in some areas,
I was actually getting weaker in most. Hi, I'm Lewis Bailey, personal trainer and mobility strength coach for men in their 40s.
During the next 5 minutes, we are going to cover the 3 reality checkpoints nobody's talking about when it comes to men entering their 40s.
So firstly, we're going to cover the real reason why your hips and joints are becoming weaker over time. Then we're going to go into why most men over 40 are taking an incorrect approach to gym training.
And then we're going to cover mobility training. This is the best way to rebuild your body from the ground up and how to get started.
So if you're a man in your 40s or fast approaching and you feel as though that your joints are really stiff and tight, then you're probably going to be in one of 2 camps. Camp A is where you've been working hard in the gym, but your joints are getting tight, painful, and injuries keep reoccurring. Or you're in Camp B, where you've done very little exercise and you've just been sitting down too much over the years. Regardless of what camp you are in, if your goal is to become fit, athletic, and aesthetic as a man entering your 40s and then beyond, then you're going to want to pay attention to this video because this is going to really help you. Okay, so reality point 1, the real reason why your hips and joints are becoming weaker over time. Generally speaking, we no longer move our bodies around physically like we did when we were little kids. During adulthood, we mostly sit down and remain static for the majority of our day. Put simply, we spend too much of our time being sedentary and just not moving our bodies to do the thing that it was designed for. And if you didn't know, that biomechanical machinery that you've been gifted, that carries your brain around every single day, is actually by design made for movement. So doing things such as running, walking, climbing, pushing, pulling and carrying things is what nature designed us for. So if you're even thinking, how do we know that this is true? Then let me introduce you into the world of proprioception, which basically doesn't mean much to you. However, let me explain. Proprioceptors are unique sensors in every joint and muscle in a body. They provide sensory feedback to the brain to provide automatic spatial awareness and coordinated movement. Basically, if we didn't have proprioceptors, then it would be like trying to learn how to walk every single day, or how things end up on a Saturday night when you've had far too many to drink. So here's the key point here. Proprioception, or your body's ability to be able to coordinate automatically without even thinking, will only improve the more that you practice. So the more that your muscles and joints move, the better that you get at that movement, which brings us into the classic old principle, if you don't use it, you lose it. So ask yourself the question, are you getting better at moving around and getting stronger, or are you getting better at becoming weaker? Okay, so let's jump into point 2, why most men over 40 are taking an incorrect approach to gym training. So now we know what we know about proprioception. This gives us a good segue to understanding the reasons why men over 40 typically choose a poor approach towards gym training. The typical bodybuilder split, or even push-pull legs, tends to be isolated movements in one singular plane, which is predominantly forward and backwards movement, or technically known as the sagittal plane. A quick little technical point. The human body is a 3-dimensional system, designed to move in multiple angles, heights and planes under environmental constraints, such as things like gravity, load, velocity and direction. So if you take the typical bodybuilding approach in your 40s, then you're going to get stronger in some areas, but then you're going to get tighter and weaker in others. Bottom line here is, if you want to build bigger muscles, then also build bigger athletic ability. No point having muscles if you don't know how to use them. So what can you do about having tight, weak hips and joints?
And this brings us to the final point, mobility training. The best way to rebuild your body from the ground up and how to get started.
So if you want to stop walking around like an old man first thing in the morning and you want to become fit, athletic and aesthetic in your 40s and beyond, then follow this 3-step structure. So the first patterns of exercise to practice is rotational movements in a split stance position. Start off from a point of just using body weight only. Then once you feel happy with that, you're comfortable and you've improved your range of motion in time, then slowly start to progress by using weight and load as you go forward. The next now pattern of exercise that you need to focus on is the lateral movements. This is moving your body from side to side. It typically tends to be quite difficult for most men in their 40s, so just start off with body weight first and then slowly progress over time. And the final exercise pattern that we want to bring into your mobility routine is to look at this sagittal base movement, so forwards and backwards, but doing this from a single leg or split stance position. This will help improve your hip joint mobility and day-to-day functionality. You will naturally be stronger in these positions. but still use your body weight to start off with and then progress the range of motion before then adding weight over time. Now, I appreciate this was just a whistle-stop tour on mobility training and what you need to be able to do. So if you want some more ideas, then you can just click onto my playlist, which has a mobility exercise library to be able to help you along. Or if you want more structured support, you can access my free 7-day hip mobility program. Just comment the word hips below and I'll give you access to the program. Okay fellas, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.